Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hey guys, welcome to Wise Kracks. Bill Krackomberger and John Orlando. And usually John does the introductions to the show, but this week I'd like to say, dearly beloved, we're gathered here to celebrate. Not bad. We're celebrating a good team, a good season, and a good person who all expired last week after the Dodgers lost. John Orlando, you're back. You're back from the dead.
Oh, boy. I can't even believe what went on.
Oh, man.
What
Trust
was
me,
that?
I
What
was
was
rooting
that?
for the Dodgers, too, in that game. I didn't bet the series or anything. I wanted to see a Dodgers-Yankees, probably like the old days or something. You know, the two best teams with the best records. Well, they actually weren't the best records. Houston had the second best. But that's what the networks and the sponsorships want. And I guess they probably want, now they want the Yankees and Philly, I guess. So it was a lot of coaching blunders, they're saying, coaching errors, and just in general, the format may not be perfect for the better team over that many games, rather than maybe having 4 of 7. I don't know. Let's see.
I would love 4 of 7.
Yeah.
Didn't it used to be?
Yeah.
For a period of time?
It was.
In the beginning, when we were younger, it was best out of 5.
We were kids.
Then it came to best out of 7.
Yeah, so it was a bad week for the Dodgers and bad for Dallas. I needed Dallas to
rough week for me. This is a rough week for me.
I don't like to bet sides too many times. Boy, when here in Vegas the Wynn put up a 7 +7 minus $1.10. I just I ran down there and we had the unbelievably, because of analytics, we actually were going for a field goal to win the game instead of tie the game at the end.
Right.
And they missed the field goal, and it's another reminder to me of how hard it is to beat the NFL, how hard it is to beat sides compared to proposition bets and even totals. And it's this year the parity between the teams is so evenly matched. I mean, there's no clear Super Bowl. I'm just looking at even the odds now. I usually don't bet that market again. There's another market I usually don't bet. But I just wanted to see the future prices on some of these teams because there's no clear winner. I know Buffalo, everyone thinks, or maybe Kansas City. And listen, Buffalo's 2-2 after they beat the Rams first week. They showed they were human. Kansas City showed that they lost to the Colts. I mean, Philadelphia, I mean, every week I'm saying that they're not really that team that should be 5-0 or you're 6-0 or whatever. It's just. I guess I'm wrong. But
are you? I mean, they were up 20-0 at one point.
Yeah, they were 20-0. Dallas is a good team though. So I thought Dallas was going to give them more of a fit. They had that comeback, the momentum, and I was. This is the type of game that if I had Philadelphia, I never win those type of games.
Right.
20-0, the other team comes back.
Right.
You never win them.
No.
All the momentum's on the other team. So this year is a different year though, man. I was just talking to someone before I came in studio. They're like the stylistic defense strategies are so different this year. You used to be able to rely on the quarterbacks and the teams themselves, and the defenses are so different this year. They're making life so much more difficult for even the better quarterbacks we see. I know a lot of them are getting old too. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that, but listen. What's happening with the defenses this year? They're slowing down the amount of plays. So let's say and I don't know these numbers. I'm just making up some numbers. Let's say there's normally 100 offensive plays. Well, now there's 60 offensive plays. The better teams with better offenses, they want 100 offensive plays. Right. Over time, they're going to literally wear them down. So now they're forcing the quarterbacks with these defensive schemes to dink and dunk, smaller. That's the reason why the totals have been lower. But there's been a lot more variance introduced even to the betting market. So this is even, it's amazing that I'm having the good year I'm having after I had a losing week last week, but first 5 weeks, winning weeks. The defenses are forcing so many things that the offenses are just not used to. So this is a total different year. Like I said, it's amazing how it's going down this year, and amazing the totals are going lower and lower. Last week, I finally thought the marketplace caught up. They moved every total down 1.5 off of what the original lines were going to be, the preseason look-ahead lines, and it didn't matter. They were still going under.
Yeah.
They're still going. And now, again, this week, they're lowered. Again, these games are lowered. So eventually it will catch up with them, but right now the bookmakers are cleaning up this year. I never want to hear anything about when you have teams like Green Bay losing outright, Tampa Bay losing outright. These teams are double-digit favorites, and
the Jets winning outright.
Literally, the Jets was like 8. That game went to 8 at game time. Everyone puts them in their money line parlays. Everyone puts them in their teasers. Listen, I'm here to tell you. Don't bet these big teams and laying 4-1 in your money line parlays, just throwing it in there saying, oh, that's an easy win. That just makes the parlay price go up. BS.
Yeah.
The sports books live off these type of bets. Please.
They just need one to falter.
Listen, I had one of the head traders last week on my Fox show, and I'll tell you right now, literally he said, we just need one of those games to go down. One of them,
right?
And he got more than one.
Yeah.
So all these sports books are really. I don't care if they lose the next 5 weeks. I don't want to hear all the money you guys have made.
I know you just said, and I agree with you, that there's no clear cut who's going to win the Super Bowl team out there right now. A team like the Jets, and I'm not even saying I believe the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl, but they look really good, and they've got that.
I think Green Bay made them look better.
And true, but they're like 80-1 or something to win the Super Bowl.
I would think more than that. 80-1. I laid it 80-1. They can't make it. They can't win it. But it's funny. One of the traders I spoke to, their biggest risk is on the Jets.
Really?
They took like a $10,000 bet to win $2 million on the Jets.
Wow.
Someone bet $10,000 on them. I'm looking now just to see one of the sports books, just to see team futures, because that did sound low, but it might be. Let's see the Jets. Oh, the Jets 100-1. 100-1 seems
100-1.
Yeah, 100-1.
Not worth it?
No.
Mm-mm.
But however, the Bills at plus 275 is insane. I want to lay 275. I don't know. That's insane. Come on.
Right.
Less than 3-1. A dozen games. Like, come on. We have 18 weeks. This is ridiculous. I mean, the Eagles, I guess, would be okay here at 7-1. But how can the Eagles be 7-1 and Buffalo be 275?
That seems crazy.
I mean, Kansas City 8-1, Buccaneers 10-1. Now, besides those four teams, everyone else is 20-1 or better. Think about that. It's actually insane, because I think anyone could win. First of all, the Chargers, they look terrible. I don't know how they could be 18-1. Vikings 18-1. I bet them before the season a little bit at 50-1. I don't even know if they. But this year is just a crazy year.
Yeah.
San Fran here. How could San Fran be 35-1? That seems a little high. I'll give you one that I might like there. San Fran, I think might be the best in their division. Who knows?
They're 35-1.
I think it's a little high to win the Super Bowl, 35-1. But I hate betting into this market normally. It's so
right.
How much money is the exposure on Buffalo that this is plus 275?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Plus 275 to win the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
It's just too low.
Yeah,
they
that's
must
too
have
low.
Here now. You'll find this once in a while. Sportsbooks will have so much money on a future or on exposure. They'll actually deter you from betting it to make it to 275 and maybe dangle some carrots like that San Fran bet. So we'll see. Anyway, all right, John.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're in studio. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I made it. I'm real upset about the Dodgers, though.
I hear you.
I'm upset that I do San Diego fans really think they're the better team from that series? I think they do.
Ooh, you'd have fights.
Like, did they not realize that Dave Roberts is the MVP of the San Diego Padres?
Man, you'd have wars saying that with some people. Yeah, some San Diego fans think that. Yeah.
Disgusting. We got to start letting pitchers across the board go deep in games.
It was an interesting conversation you had on a pre-show about
you would never take out Scherzer. Go try to take Scherzer out when he's throwing a shutout.
Yeah.
Was it a shutout? Yeah. Cruising. He's 84 pitches. He's cruising. Let me see you go try to take him out in the 6th inning.
Right.
He'll send you right back to the dugout.
Right.
He's not coming out.
Right. Yeah.
Why don't they give all starting pitchers that respect?
You know, it's a number. It's a pitch count. It's analytics. There's a lot of other things involved.
I know, but so like with the Dodgers, they've been managing off of analytics now for, I think Roberts is in his 8th year, and we got one World Series. So doesn't someone go, the analytics don't work? No?
You know, I'm one that thinks that analytics is overblown now.
Yeah.
In a lot of things, in football especially. Yes, there's a certain point of the game that analytics definitely plays a role, and we love Moneyball. I love Moneyball.
Sure,
it's great
movie.
But I think it was over. I think it's overblown. All these teams have an analytics departments, and they're spending millions of dollars on analytics, where the gutsy, grinded out, gut and feel, hard, old school baseball or old school football. Sometimes that means so much more. Than what an analytical theory behind the game.
It's like they ignore the human element. They ignore guys stepping up rising to the occasion. Guys that come up big in big spots. The unlikely guy sometimes comes up big in a big spot, and you're not expecting, right? The unlikely hero. And it's weird. You hear it during the whole year. During the whole year, you hear guys at the end of a walk off and go, "That's the thing with this team. On any given night, anyone can do it." Right? It's like all the players feel that. But the managers and the front office, I think it's really the front office, won't allow these guys to just play baseball or football.
You wonder what's going on now with the management and the GM and the ownership. You wonder what they're talking about now. Throughout the Dodgers camp.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just so mind-boggling.
Back to football here. We have some producer notes.
Oh, what do you got?
96% of the money line was bet on the game's money line was at Tampa Bay. At PointsBet and Caesars, the Bucks money line was minus 455, was included in more parlays than any other wager. What I talked about earlier, betting the reason why these sports books are making so much money, people putting these money lines in their parlays. Tom Brady not happy after the game. Yeah, we know about that. He was throwing a little hissy fit. I'm sick and tired of him too. I really am sick and tired of all these guys. DraftKings boosted the Chargers quarterback Herbert odds to throw at least one touchdown from minus 800 to even money. I don't care if they're even giving you $50 on that, $25. That's a no-brainer. One touchdown, it's a no-brainer. By the way, it lost. It lost. I mean, 57 attempted passes, the most in a winning effort without a passing touchdown in NFL history. So they were trying to give all their customers a little boost, a little freebie, and they couldn't even win. Anyway, Cooper Rush, we talked about that.
Yeah.
It's funny. So he had a tough loss to Philly. That successful field goal, like I said, would have covered the game for many, including me. I have to tell you now, Dak coming back here, is this like, I don't know. I personally have a side I like in this game, total I like in this game. But I just don't know whether to go full game or a first half. So I kind of lean to the over here a little bit, and I like betting first half overs. I like my first half over guy. But
really?
I like first half overs rather, because at the end of the game is a lot of sitting back, running the ball. Fourth quarter, they're up by 7, up by 10, up by double digits.
I get that, but I feel like lately, at least this season, I feel like I'm watching a lot of games. No scoring in the first quarter.
Actually, first halves have. It's the second half that I've been down. The first half numbers have been good. We've done really good.
I've just been watching some crappy games. Okay.
So I don't know about how healthy Dak's going to get out there and start throwing the ball, or how he's going to look. And I'm going to look into a little bit more than that. Look around, ask around, and see what my team comes up with here. But so we'll see what happens here. It should be interesting. I actually don't even know the current. I know the total was like. I know what the total was. I just don't even know what the side is here. Let's see, Dallas, and I'm still not going to find it, huh? Dallas is 7. It's 7, yeah. 7 points. It's up to 49.
Where's the game?
It's in Dallas. Dallas, Detroit. I didn't know it was 7. That's interesting. Detroit seems like they've been in every game again, just like they were last season. So, anyway, it should be fun.
Yeah. Big UFC fight this weekend. They are in Abu Dhabi.
Let me get you some odds fighting. Who are you guys referring to?
Big UFC fight. There are 2 title fights. The Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. Oliveira is the one.
2-1, 190?
Yeah. This is a good matchup. I mean, Islam is kind of Khabib's guy.
Right.
I don't know, man. This one could go either way. I mean, I kind of like Oliveira. I've learned my lesson on betting against Oliveira, so I would say lay off of it or take him. But I don't know, man. I'd say I kind of lean towards stay clear of this fight. So you know how you say just because it's on TV, you don't have to bet?
Right.
My new motto, inspired by you, is just because it's a title fight doesn't mean you have to bet.
Oh, but everyone's betting them.
Right.
Yeah. I would think the action's a lot more than people even think of people betting the title fights. I'm talking about the guys, people that actually go to the fights even. I would think there's action on everyone's got action on the title fight, I would think.
Yeah. It's hard not to. Also, Aljamain Sterling is fighting TJ Dillashaw. TJ is the one former champ. He served a pretty long suspension for PEDs. And he got back. He
Another
came
180,
back
190.
recently. Yeah, I think this is an easy one.
Sterling?
Yeah, I think Sterling gets him on the ground.
Open 160, went up to 190 at
really
Sharper
Is that where it is right now?
Yeah,
190,
185, 180. You could find 175 at the Westgate.
Yeah, I mean TJ's great. Not taking anything away from him. He's got great footwork. He looks insane. I mean, he looks amazing shape. Both of them do. But I'd give this one to Sterling. And then also Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. This is a live dog crack. If you want a live dog, Sean O'Malley is a gamer. This guy is got a big personality. He's got good fights at range. He's good, man. He's got fast hands. He's got power. He's got it all. Jan's no joke. Sterling just beat Jan.
Big favorite here.
Yeah, but
by the way, it opened up 360 though, went down to 250.
Yeah, wow, it did open at 360.
I always go by Circa because
that's a fail on my end. I should have been all over that one at 360 because I like O'Malley a lot. Yeah, I think he's a.
You can still get plus 260 at the win. That's the best I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like you can go with a dog, John. Good for you.
Yeah, there you go. Good fights, early fights too. I want to say main card starts 11 a.m. our time because they're in Abu Dhabi. So
wow, this is
it's an early start.
They must put up a lot of money over there in Dubai, huh, for this stuff.
Yeah, they foot the bill.
Yeah,
to promote tourism and stuff.
Everyone goes though, like Dane. Everyone will be there.
Yeah, and supposedly it's amazing. I know they all stay at like the W Hotel out there, and it's like beautiful,
it's only
like amazing.
3,000 a night.
Yeah. But,
wow. Cool.
One of these days, I'm gonna invite myself and and see if he says yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I almost did it this time. I came close.
They probably have their own plane, right?
Yeah, they take a chartered.
They take a charter. Maybe the UFC have their own plane.
No. I think they charter. I'm pretty sure they charter like a
private plane,
a big plane. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So it's kind of cool.
Sounds good.
I think they're on Emirates.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's a great.
Yeah, I think they're on Emirates.
Yeah,
I actually know they're on Emirates.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
yeah.
They supposedly have some of the most comfortable big.
Yeah,
like little bunks.
Gary Brecker, the guy that just did my blood work.
Yeah,
he's going with them. They're flying out today. Actually, he's going on this trip, and I said, yeah, and he goes, yeah, Emirates first class.
John's doing blood work. Yeah, I went to dinner with him and his dad, and they were doing this blood work thing. He wanted to know when he was going to die, and now I don't have the date.
Yeah, I don't have a date. He didn't give me a date.
No. Take your blood and do the last 5 years of.
Yeah.
And they find out when you're dying.
Yeah, but I did get results back though.
I'm looking to know
things I need to work on.
I want to know. Yeah. I'm looking to know.
You want to know for me, or you want to know for you?
No, for you.
Okay.
Me, I don't care. I don't care.
Would you want to know for you or no?
Listen. I'm cynical. Who's doing this? The amazing Kreskin? I mean, who's telling you?
Well, so Gary,
it's got to be it's got to be a good hypothesis, though.
It's good, but so Gary did this for insurance companies for 20 years. Okay. So imagine, a CEO of Coca-Cola or something, and he's going to have a $30 million policy or a $40 million policy.
Yeah.
They don't just roll the dice and guess when they have a, they
let the CEO
their analytics team
to this guy.
Yeah.
And his company
so the insurance company would have Gary evaluate the blood and the DNA and all that and predict, and apparently he's really good at it.
And then you have to put into that equation though nature. I mean,
sure.
Car accident.
Well, sure. There's that.
You have to put that into the
for sure.
equation too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's
a scam. Sorry. Sorry. I'm very cynical.
Oh, my God. All right, Crack, it's that time. We've got one of the co-founders of Sporttrade. Sporttrade is America's most dynamic sports trading platform, bringing price transparency, liquidity, and reduced transaction costs to sports betting. Alex, it's great to have you on. And before we go any further, put that in layman's terms for us, would you? That incredible intro.
Yeah. Alex, you're one of the founders. You're one of the founders too.
Yes, I started Sporttrade about 5 years ago.
Cool.
A lot of ups and downs.
Cool.
5 years ago when you were just 15 years old.
14.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No. So
Cool.
I went to Drexel University,
Yep.
and I think you'll like this story, and I'll keep it quick, Bill, because I think it really gets into the why behind Sporttrade. So anyway, I was a finance student, and somebody put a phone in my hand, and on that phone is Robinhood. I had no idea what financial trading was. I didn't know anything, and I just thought like, whoa, this is cool. It's mobile. My parents used to. I see on the ads for all the stock trades at that time cost you $10. You ever seen those ads? Schwab,
Yep.
we have trades, and it was free trading. And as a finance student, I just picked it up right away. And I looked around of all the other finance kids, and we're all using it. And then someone showed me sports betting, and I literally have a spreadsheet here of all the American odds and how they kind of convert over to the probability. And I literally thought I was reading a spreadsheet. And I was on the golf team. I liked betting. I wasn't a sports bettor yet. It wasn't legal for me. I love trading, and I just thought to myself, like, there's going to be a world where you can trade sports the same way you can trade. The kids are trading the finance school on Robinhood. Like, you buy Apple $100 and they have good earnings, goes to 120. Like, why can't I buy the Phillies to win the World Series at 7% and sell them at 20 if they win the NLDS? And that was kind of like the idea, is like less of like the better prices and like lower vig, and that's great. And I think there's going to be customers that love that. But I think, Bill, you talk about all the time, like, in order for an exchange to work, you have to attract the recreational money, the square money, the customer that isn't doing it to always get an edge. And I think that's what Robinhood's done such a great job of. They've taught millions of people how to become traders overnight. And it's less about placing limit orders and getting the best price, and more like, I'm going to YOLO into this stock and see if it goes up. And that's what Sporttrade is. Sporttrade is just a trading app where you're trading on the probability. So Phillies have a 25% chance of winning the World Series. You can buy them at 25, risking 25 to win 75, and then you can trade it. So if they win game 2, they go from 25 to 35, you sell it, you make money. That's what Sporttrade is. It's a trading app.
So I think that's genius.
So, but to make it more layman's terms for the people at home that aren't familiar with any trading platforms, and maybe not even familiar with the Wall Street type of things, am I to understand this right? In other words, you fund your account and you can go in and you could buy let me not use the word buy. It's going to scare people off a little bit, I think. You can bet, in other words, into the Sunday night football game, Dallas and the Eagles. You can bet either side of that game. Let's say I'll use the number of 7. -7, -02 on one side, -02 on the other side. Am I saying that right? This way, I put it onto level playing ground for people that are getting a little bit intimidated by the word trading. So basically, we could just bet like a sports book. Now, when we lay the 102, what is the house fee? Is there another couple percent for the house? How do you guys make money?
Yeah, so I'm looking at, we're getting up on some odds screens later this week. We'll be announcing. So I'm looking at kind of Sporttrade's pricing right now for, let's say, the Wizards Pacers game. I'll look at the money line.
Perfect.
And what some of these odds screens do is they will take our prices, they'll show the American odds equivalent, and then they'll include the commission. So these all the prices I'm quoting for you, including commission. Wizards -06, Pacers -02. That is including commission, and you can get down $5,000 plus.
That's amazing. What he's saying is, I could turn my screen to you right here.
Yeah.
I have an odd screen from all over the world here, as you see.
Yep.
So now he's saying Washington Wizards. Let's highlight the game. -102, and the other -106. You can see it's 115, 120, 115. There's nowhere in the world. I can just keep on going, John.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in the world you can lay 106.
Right.
And the other side is -102.
-102, including our commission.
Including the commission. You can see 105, 105. There's a couple shops, even 105, 105. So if you're really betting, the value here is to bet Washington here minus the 106, really.
Right.
102, it's a little more closer of a margin there. But that is amazing that you can do this. And let's be blunt, everyone's not doing it.
Right.
It's just this is like, all right, it's 3 cents. It's better yet, it's 9 cents on the favorite. If you're betting $200, that's $18. You're gonna lose half the time. That's $9. Let's say it's $10. That's one trade, one bet that's one bet is gonna save you. It's phenomenal, this model, and I don't know why anyone wouldn't do it, but I know they have big, giant marketing budgets at these other big companies out there on TV in your face, this and that. I have to tell you that this is the wave of the future for anyone with common sense. And I'm not talking about sharp guys like me. I'm talking about regular recreational people that want to bet to save that kind of money. What you're doing here is you're winning more and you're losing less.
Right.
Is what you're doing.
Right.
So I don't know why anyone wouldn't do this.
That would actually be a great tagline for you guys, actually. Winning more, losing less.
And the folks over at Profit, I think Joe Pita really coined that. And he's right. I mean, I think that's one of the nice advantages of a betting exchange. There's another one here. This could be a price you look just looking at the screen. Maybe not. Pelicans plus 2.5 is flat, plus 100. And it looks like I see plus 2.5 on FanDuel minus 0.8, plus 2.5 points bet minus 0.7. Like the great thing about this is that by bringing in, and we'll talk about Brandon and kind of where does this pricing come from on Sporttrade? It's our market makers and what that is, but our market makers like to take opinions. And that means that when you look at an odds screen, you're going to see times where they might stick out that number minus 0.6 on Washington, like you just said, and they might get fills there, but they might like their model at that price. And what that gives you as a customer is if you're a price shopper, now you may synthetically get, Sporttrade's 2% into a synthetic 0.5% or even flat or sometimes even inverse. And for customers, even if you're like me, not a professional sports bettor, you should always want the best price because at very worst, all it means is that it extends your bankroll for years.
This is better than a sportsbook bonus. You understand what he's saying here?
Yeah.
Like this will extend your bank. This is better than getting a $1,000 free bet or a $500 free bet. Long term, this is much more than that. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Alex. I'm just trying to emphasize how much better this is long term. But I'm now going to something you were just saying now. The seeding of the markets. So New Jersey has approved for anyone, even you guys, seeding the markets. Am I understanding this right?
Yep. So we partner with, like when I started Sporttrade, I was like, okay, I was in college and I was like, I'm going to start this marketplace and it's going to be great. And then I was like, oh crap, like how do I do this? Like how do I bring buyers and sellers together? Then I like really had an existential question. I was like, how does NASDAQ do it? Like what is Apple's trading $110? Like who's putting those prices there? And what I learned was that they're just like in sports betting exchanges or in sports markets, you have seeders, and seeders are market makers, and market makers are these firms that will put in prices into the market. And their hope is that with their small gap of prices, like we talked about minus 0.2, minus 0.2, that there's enough people on both sides taking both sides that they make the middle.
Sure.
They make that small, VIG as it's called, I know, in sports betting. And so that's the magic of what really we've done on Sporttrade is that we've brought these kind of new blood, this new sort of thinking in the form of these market makers, these seeders that are licensed by New Jersey, and they're the ones competing with each other to deliver really tight pricing. And it means great things pre-game, but also like the really exciting thing about Sporttrade is that over 60% of all of our handles in play. So after the game starts.
Wow.
And
okay.
You will see these sort of spreads in play.
Now, can we, the public, do that? Can we, the public, put up a market? See, or no? You guys have seen. So we, as the public, I can go in and say I want something. I can go in there just like the old, matchbook and stuff. So I can go in there and actually put a market in there myself too. It's not just you guys or certain people that you just said were licensed by the state of New Jersey putting in seeding markets. So anyone can do it.
Anyone could do it. On our platform, it's called a limit order. So like you could say, hey, I don't want to buy the, Washington at minus 0.6, which is about $51 before commission. Right. I want to buy them at $50.
Yep.
And what happens, just like the stock market, you end up with all of this kind of activity and the market's kind of naturally tightening up. So maybe it starts out minus 110, but before the game, it's minus 0.2, minus 0.4. including commission.
Right.
And that's where customers really win.
Can customers can people that are interested just to get into this, but maybe not fund their account right away? Can they look at this, or do you have to have an account that's funded? Can anyone look from across the country at your current markets?
Anyone can look. If you download Sporttrade on the iOS app, which is where we are. In next quarter, we're going to have Android. And what we're doing over the next couple of weeks is we are putting in like a American Odds equivalent within the app. So if you go to settings, you'll be able to like, hey, just give me an idea of like what this is American Odds wise, and you'll be able to see all the prices directly in American Odds. So you'll be able to see like, oh, okay, well, this market I could buy one team at 60 and buy the other team at 41, which is 101% over round. 1% over round. Oh, well, actually that means minus 152 plus 143. Ooh, okay, that looks pretty tight. So customers will be able to see that you don't have to do anything. You just have to download the app and then view the markets.
We apologize for the break in the action. We'll get back to the interview shortly, but let's talk about the Krackwinds app, because you might have had a losing week last week. Yeah. No big deal. You're still at 60%.
Yeah, who wants to talk about losing weeks? No one does that, do they?
No one. You will.
On a losing week. Yeah,
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, we're destroying the season like I thought we would.
You'll be back?
Yeah.
You can't win every time you walk into the casino.
You can't win. Nobody can win every week.
Right.
No one can even win every month. I went 8 months in a row winning. It's impossible almost. Just you're going to have losing weeks, and that happens. So it's part of the game. But like you said, we're at, I don't really know the percentage. We're close to 60% for the year, which may not sound like anything special. You tell somebody, hey, I'm going to go... I'm going to hit 50. Like Jimmy Vaccaro said on Action, the show I did, a docuseries I did on Showtime, 55% is ridiculous how much money you're going to win in a year. And people say, well, 55? Jesus, I could do that.
Right.
That's easy. 65. I don't need anyone to tell me how to do 55%. I mean, listen, it's hard to do. It's hard to maintain. So I would take anything close to 60% would be next to a miracle for the season.
Yeah. So, I mean, last year you did...
Last year, like 63.
63, and you said you never do it again. You were basically there until the loss last week.
Yeah. Listen, I'm betting things that are beatable. I'm not betting a lot of sides. I give out the one Dallas Cowboys. I'm betting totals. I'm betting first halves. I'm betting proposition bets. Maybe throw a teaser or two in there. I'm kind of down on them too because the sportsbooks are charging so much for teasers. So I'm kind of against them now. They have caught up with it, and instead of just charging normal prices, they're price gouging. So anyway, we're Krackwinds. We've been doing absolutely great. We came off the week before that, but we're 10-0. It's ridiculous. You can't do 10-0. So.
And NBA getting underway. So
NBA starting up.
Yeah. And next week we'll talk. We're going to talk about how to bet the NBA successfully.
Yeah,
you're going to give out some tips next week.
We've had some really good NBA seasons. So
I've got your record here. Your record in the NBA since you started Krackwinds. Do you even know it? It's 609 and 436. You are 609 and 436. That is for someone that keeps saying you can't hit 60%. You're at 58.2. For NBA.
NBA totals, that is. I don't do... It's another thing I don't do sides.
Right.
I don't really know anyone that could beat NBA side. Just like NFL sides, they're very tough to beat. It's literally like every given Sunday in the NFL. It's every given day in WNBA because the bookmakers get those spreads right. They get all those spreads right. So Krackwinds.com and the Krackwinds app, and get on it now because college basketball is starting. That's the thing that... I can't wait. These first...
I see you just got animated.
6 weeks or so, college basketball. That's the real thing we want to talk about.
Yeah. So, all right. Also, WSN.com.
I'm there.
You're there right now?
Yeah. All of our podcasts are on there, guys. So you can go back and listen to anyone. Literally, there's articles on expert picks, predictions, betting bonuses. This week, they have an article on how to bet. How to go around and collect these promos with these bonus codes, Stu. I like that. They've compiled the best football betting promo codes out there. WSN has negotiated some great bonuses for you guys, too. Like I always go to the state guides here. I like to go to New Jersey since they have 20-some sports books legalized. So you click on, again, click on the state guides, click on New Jersey, and you can find out what sports books they have negotiated bonuses for you. Literally, they have negotiated bonuses that aren't available on even the regular sites. So by going through WSN, you get thousands and thousands of dollars from some really good sports books if you guys haven't signed up yet. By the way, depending on your jurisdiction, there's a lot of little sports books that even I haven't signed up yet. People don't even realize that you do not have to live in that state. If you're just visiting that state on vacation, whether it be New Jersey, Colorado, Arizona, you don't have to live in that state to be able to bet and be able to have the sports book in that state. You can just open up for the weekend or how long you're going to be there. Anyway, WSN.com.
All right, guys, now we'll take you back to our interview with Alex Kane.
Yeah, I think this is going to be something that's going to you're going to have to literally water the seeds, though, and literally smarten up the public here. And you know, I'm like I said, the last couple of weeks on Visa, and I've been trying to tell people that because if you're listening to a show like that, you're pretty smart. So you're already pretty smart, but yet people like that still won't fund their accounts and realize the value of something like this. So I think this is a wave of the future. Are you guys going to go outside the jurisdiction of New Jersey? You guys are eventually going to some other states. Anyone on the horizon that we can be hinted at or no?
Yeah. So Colorado's a state that we have market access in. Indiana as well with Caesars. There's other states that we're working on that are a bit bigger, which we're really excited about. But initially, it will be, really trying to validate that customers really like this in New Jersey because, we are a venture-backed business. We've raised an amount of money that DraftKings is spending during the, this podcast alone.
Right. Sure.
And so it's a different. But what's great is that we are acquiring the type of customer I think that likes the better pricing. I think we have a ton of work to do to really socialize that. But
Sure.
It's just as exciting. We are bringing in customers that don't even know what American odds are. We have customers that come to us and be like, I'm a trader or I'm a recreational type customer. I always see those ads for FanDuel and I never get minus 250. But last night I bought the Jazz at 30 and then they went on a 10-2 run and I sold them at 60. And oh my gosh, Sporttrade is the only place I can do that. And I think for us to be successful and to really bring in, there's going to be some part of the audience that sees the better pricing and that's all they need. But I think there's a larger segment out there where you could sit on a couch with someone and if the pitch is like, well, you get better prices and they're going to say, oh, it's only 2 cents. What the heck? Or you could say, check this out. You could buy the Washington Wizards right now at this price and you see them score 3 and you're up 10% already. And you can sell it. That customer could be like, holy cow, that was so cool. By the way, we have no delays. So when you place a bet on all these other venues, you get the spinny wheel, right?
Everywhere.
You're thinking, wait,
yeah.
Like the games are happening and I'm already 2 minutes behind on Hulu and now they watch the next 6 plays and I didn't even want this bet anymore. On Sporttrade, instantaneous,
That's
even
great.
in play. And I think customers really, really like that.
This is going to revolutionize sports betting, no?
Yeah, I hope so.
Just listening to this makes so much sense.
No, it does make sense. This is all about saving the customer money too. It's just like he said, like Joe Peters said, and that's where I got that from actually, because I was set on Visa, and I guess he did tell Gil that you're literally making more and saving. It's going to be. I like the word you said. I hope it does. I hope it revolutionizes the.
Yeah.
People have to realize how much value is involved in something like this. So, But yeah, great stuff, Alex. We really appreciate you coming on and explaining some stuff to us. Hopefully we can get the word out there because we need to have this. Going into the last thing I have for you is, so Brandon, one of your founders also, I've known from the old days when I used to post on recreational betting forums, and he was known as Machiavelli. And we had our first get together out here back 20 plus years ago, literally like 22 years ago in Vegas. I got to meet him and everyone got to meet everybody. And you could tell right away he was one of the real sharp guys. And he was literally destroying some of the live market platforms that were out there and the trading platforms. And he went on to a lot of financial success in other ventures. Am I correct by saying, I haven't talked to him about this. I thought he was telling me he was going to be on the Chicago exchange. Is that correct? Or is that where he made his money? Or originally he was on Wall Street? Or tell us, or if you know.
Yeah, this is like one of the coolest stories in sports betting that a lot of people don't know about, and the genesis of the story. So Brandon and several others began as sports bettors. They played on World Sports Exchange.
WSEX.
Trade sports was a thing back in the day, and they were really successful. And they, he found another person in the major wager community, like one of those forums, and they got to meet each other in Vegas, and they had this vision. They wanted to build a trading desk for sports betting. But of course, they were 20 years too early. This is in the late 90s, early 2000s. And one day, Brandon found out about high frequency trading, and he got plucked over and he joined a company called Getco. And Getco became, the firm that did, get this, Bill, 30% of the total U.S. stock market volume, day in, day out, one firm. And they were seeders. That's all they were doing. And what they would do at Getco is, and he ultimately drafted all of his other sports betting friends, was like, you got to check this out. Like, sports betting isn't like here yet. It's got to become nationwide legal. You should come check out this high frequency trading gig. So they did. And they applied all the expertise of modeling and probabilistic modeling in sports to financial trading and became super successful. And they became one of, like, if you type in Getco, it's like one of the world's largest market makers. I mean, they were trading everything, equities. You ever watched the movie Trading Places, right?
Sure.
They trade everything here. They traded everything. And then in 2018, they did really well for themselves, and they thought, hey, we want to go be a seeder on a sports betting exchange. Like, take the same thing we just learned in high frequency trading and now go back to sports betting. And that's how I met Brandon. And Brandon is the co-founder of the firm, that one of the firms we work with as a market maker on our platform. And the great thing about Brandon and his partner, David, is that they're here to create a great customer experience. They're aligned with us in the exchange. They don't want to take large vig out of the customer. They want to have the tightest spread, the most liquidity, the lowest delays, because their goal is to create a hyper liquid platform on Sporttrade. And they know that if they can create a hyper liquid platform that, minus 102 is bigger than 100. And over time that they'll win, but it's going to be a very kind of cognizant build out. They don't want to do the minus 110, minus 115, minus 120 spinny line same game parlay. They want to stretch the dollar of Sporttrade's better as long as possible and create an experience that's totally unique and different. So that's how I met Brandon, was through his partner, David, and they just have the most incredible story that almost cool. No one knows.
Yeah, that David is deep south. Am I saying it right? He was deep south years ago on the forums. These two guys really are breaking into this business in a big way, and yourself too. We really appreciate you having on. We're going to get the word out there. I know myself I have, so appreciate having you on Wise Kracks. Look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, Bill, John, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Good conversation with Alex, Bill.
Yeah, excellent. No, it's an interesting concept. I hope it takes off, because I actually think that this type of wagering is better for the player, better for the customer.
Yeah. Are you back next week? Where are you? You're on the road?
Yeah, I'm on the road.
You're going back on tour?
I'm back. I'm on the road next week. I'm going to Connecticut. Yep.
Big yellow seat?
I don't know. There's a new airline that flies directly to Connecticut. Direct to Hartford. I may use that. It's called Breeze.
Never heard of it.
They have first class seats and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I may do that.
All right, gang. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.